Hello, Internet, and welcome to Red Jenny. We're here to play the Dragon Age TTRPG, and I'm going to get the intro right this time. Hi, everyone. Welcome. We are super excited to be back 2 weeks in a row on a roll. We're going to get back into our game here in a moment, but first, going to talk about what we've got going on the channel this week. Actually, I think the only other thing we're going to have this week is going to be next Saturday, returning to returning to Hearts of Stone, playing Blades of the Dark. Still on hiatus for our Strixhaven game, but we will let you know as soon as we get back to that. Otherwise, yeah, pretty much it. We've got links to our YouTube if you find that you want to watch more of our stuff, including the previous 62 episodes of this show. You can, or 61 episodes, I guess, of this show. You can go get, just breeze through those and get caught up before the next time we play. But that's pretty much all we've got going on right now. I'm going to go ahead, though, before we get into our recap and get started with our game, let my lovely players here introduce themselves, talk about who they are, what they do on and off this channel, and who they're playing tonight, starting, as always, with Van.
That's me. Hi, I'm Van. You can find me on the internets at Van But Wilder, wherever you can find people on the internets. Mostly I'm hanging out in the Discord, streaming on Twitch a few times a week, Sunday nights on twitch.tv/hackrecklessly, playing D&D, and then a few shows throughout the week on this channel. Tonight I am playing Venehn, who's an elven marksman ranger. And your spooky question for today is... would you rather live in a house where every night the walls bleed, or every night you hear eerie, disembodied voices at 3 a.m.? I'm picking the voices.
First, that took me a second to realize that what you were saying. I thought you meant that you were going to pick the voices for us, and I was waiting to hear.
Yes, I'm going to tell you whose voice you hear. No, I'm going with voices at 3 a.m.
It just sounds like Vincent Price the whole time.
Because blood's hard to clean up.
True.
And I have noise-canceling earbuds.
That one's tough. Yeah, I'll do my intro first, I guess, while I'm thinking about that. Hey, I'm Christina Sid. I go by Greek Sid on the very few social media platforms that I'm on at this point. I'm here on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Saturdays. Tonight I will be playing Yasmera. She is our Kunari rogue shadow assassin. I'm also going to be Jaegering Shira, which will be very fun. I'm looking over her character sheet right now. And this is so tough. I mean, same. Like, I've got noise canceling, not a big deal. But I can be a pretty light sleeper, so that might be really just less creepy, more annoying, you know what I mean? And I feel like if I knew consistently every night my walls were gonna bleed, I could come up with some sort of like collection system, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm gonna bank on my own ingenuity in that regard, and I'm gonna say bleeding walls. Cause yeah, the voices would impede my sleep. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. I feel like Yaz would probably be the same. I would assume, given her occupation, she's probably a very light sleeper as well. Yeah, that's me.
Okay, I guess my turn. Sup, y'all? It's me, Wally, your favorite non-biased best friend on the internet. You can find me on the social media at WALLE132, just like the cute little Disney robot talking about the things that I'm in, the things that I do. Like the fucking Mets. Let's go fucking Mets. Let's go Mets. We just won our game again. What's that, Dodger? You thought you were going to sweep us? Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. We had 6-0 at the bottom of the second. You knew what you're going into. Anyway. But you can also find me here Mondays playing games with all these wonderful people. And tonight I am playing Garas, the Elven Grey Warden Duelist Bard. To answer the question, all right. I'm looking at it from the perspective that the current house that I am in is the one that has the bleeding walls or the voices, is what I'm basing this on. Okay, I live in a rented Section 8 apartment. I cannot have bleeding walls at all. That is out of the question, all right? No, thank you.
But is that your responsibility? You know
Yes,
what I mean?
that's
'Cause,
my
like,
responsibility.
bleeding-
No, yeah,
How, though? I feel like you could totally throw that
Section
back.
8 inspections are fucking wild, okay? They're fucking wild.
That's totally on your landlord, but that's just
it's
me.
totally on them. It's totally on them. Blame that to the city and the landlord. But when it comes to the voices, I'm fine with the voices, you know. I mean, they'll just go along with the voices I already hear when I wake up randomly at 3 a.m. So, hey, I mean, if they're a good conversationalist, good. I'm fine with 3 a.m. voices. Garas though is probably going to go with the same. And I think the ghost would get tired of him because he would be talking back to them. And then then eventually Yasmera will hear a voice in her room like, we got tired. He does not shut up. We're dealing with you now. And that's it. Yeah.
And then she would kill Garas for causing her this distress. So
And then
that's when he
Garrus would
pops
haunt
in as
Yasmera.
Yeah.
Yasmera.
exactly. And that's why we're in this predicament.
Hey, hello, Yasmera. I'm a ghost now.
Hi, Internet.
Look at me, I'm a ghost now.
Hi, Ghost Garrus, and hi, Mom. It's me. It's the Ceta. You can find me at. Remember last week when I had a brain cell die? What a Mr. Well, God, just forgot my own tag, my own handle. You can find me at Mr. Will at most places on the internet. You can find me at john.ceta on Instagram, where I post lovely pictures of food. And also, though, I forgot there's a picture of my mom meeting the fourth Doctor way back in the day. It's pretty cool. But tonight, I will be playing one Zygmunt Angharad, the Dwarven Grey Warden Guardian Berserker, who I think at his point in his life, he really can't afford to have voices talking to him in the middle of the night. I think for his mental health, that's a bad thing. I don't think he would love the blood on the walls. I just think that's a lesser of two evils kind of choices. For me, I'm 100% with Wally on this one. I like this apartment. There's no way. There's no fucking way. There's no way. I will deal with the voices. I don't even think they bother me that much. Could be creepy. I'd probably spend too much. I'd lose sleep trying to figure out what they're saying. But you know, I'd be fine with it. But blood on my walls? Hell no. Hell no.
I guess that's just me. Hi, everyone. I'm Val. You can find me at the Kraken's Crown, lurking around the internet. Mostly just here, though, playing and running games. I run the other game on Saturday that I was talking about, Hearts of Stone. Come join us for that. Play on some other stuff in between. Also over on Hack Recklessly on Sundays, playing D&D, which hopefully we'll get to be back with next week. I'm not sure yet because our DM is still without internet from the storm. So, but yeah, and I guess, I mean, this feels too easy for me. It feels like a trap or like a unfair, because with the combination of really bad hearing and ADHD, I'm never hearing those voices. They don't exist. Everyone else, I mean, Van can attest to, everyone else might hear them and I'll be like, what are you talking about? I didn't hear that.
We live in the same house and I barely exist.
Yeah. So I think I definitely have to go with the voices on that one, even though I feel like the bleeding walls could be really cool if you put up like, I don't know, some sort of like plexiglass barrier over the wall so the blood,
That's what I was thinking.
you know,
And then like you just clear it out when you need to, you know, and
Yeah,
then it
that
just
would be
kind
dope.
of
Yeah.
looks.
some
just-
like weird Art Deco kind of like stuff. Yeah.
I
I
buy
wouldn't
it.
mind that.
I'd buy
Yeah.
that, yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. And then you
wouldn't
just
mind
like
that.
once a week, you know, or a couple times a week, whenever you do your litter box at the
Drain it.
same time, you just drain the blood. No big
Yeah.
deal.
So I
Drain
clean
the
up once a
blood
week. I
walls.
feed the cats.
Your
I clean the litter
roommates-
boxes, and I drain the blood out of the walls.
No big deal.
Neighbors end up thinking you're fucking Dexter or something.
Yeah.
So just lots of plastic and blood.
Throw some glitter in there. You know those like old cups when you were a kid that like
Oh,
Just have all the
Yeah.
liquid in
Or like
them.
jelly shoes.
Yeah,
That's
it'd be
fun.
great.
Yeah, that's fun.
Plus, if you think about it, like depending on like what blood type your house is, like you could donate that. And
There you
That's
go.
true.
Yeah.
If I
How
have
do you-
if I have a typo house, man, I would 100%. I would 100% test the blood that's bleeding and see like what it is, and I can donate that shit. 100%.
How hard would it be to convince somebody to come over and test the blood type of your house, do you think?
Probably not that hard.
They've
If
got
you know it, if
at-home
you-
kits for
like,
that shit.
yeah.
That's
No
true.
big deal.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sell that plasma. Psh, side hustle.
Easy.
yeah, I mean, I feel like human services or like a like a welfare officer would show up to your house first, find out your house is bleeding, and then send a doctor over. So yeah. All right, are y'all ready to get started?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Previously on Red Jenny, I'm gonna go ahead and put on some spookier music for at least this part. Previously on Red Jenny, the gang delved deep into this forgotten temple of the elven god Durthamen, encountering traps and puzzles along the way. In first, I think, first event of last session was a series of visions that were received by Ziggy as you were descending down, as kind of falling further and further into the calling, and begin to have some memories come back from your early days with Reyes and the rest of your former Grey Warden compatriots. You very handily dealt with the traps and puzzles along the way, culminating into a trap with a bunch of masks on the wall that you had to try on and experience the emotions of them and slot them into the appropriate order. Able to do so with relative ease, you finally descended down to the furthest recesses of the temple, coming into a mostly destroyed chamber with cracks and holes like burrowed into the walls, bones littered across the floor. At the center of the room, on a pedestal encased in a kind of like an iron cage around it, was a emerald gemstone set within an amulet. The gemstone emanating a green light that seemed to focus and shift within the gemstone, like the movement of an eye. And as you began to theorize what might have caused the destruction here within this temple, and began to look around for spiders, a creature descended from the ceiling above, long limbs, very arachnid or insectoid like, with a spine covered rocky carapace, a body kind of suspended in between with smaller appendages kind of tucked under its body, and a head with 4 eyes, jagged teeth dripping with malice, as this Vartaral, which Venehn was able to quickly identify, descended down upon you and let out a shriek as it moved in to attack. And that is where we are picking up our session tonight. I am going to start the battle music. And the first up in combat is Venehn.
I guess I'm going to shoot the big monster.
Okay. Make your attack.
I will aim and fire.
All right, minor action to aim. You're muted.
How's a 25 do ya?
25 does just fine. That hits.
We love to see it. Okay, and I get no stunts, unfortunately. But 15. It's 15 damage.
15 damage. Okay. It seems like this, as I described, this creature has a very thick, kind of rocky carapace around its body. It seems to absorb a lot of the damage, but some does get through as the arrow breaks through, sinking into the creature, which again shrieks in pain in response as its eyes lock on towards you. Anything else?
That's both my actions.
All right.
Start off simple.
Start off simple. Well, we are introducing talk to my players about this ahead of time, but with wanting to tweak some stuff for high level combat, we have a new mechanic that I'm using for these more powerful creatures. So this Vartaral is going to take a major action at the end of your turn, and is going to it is going to charge you. As you,
What am I, a cell phone?
Yeah. As you fire your arrow and it shrieks in pain, it then rushes you down and makes an attack against you. In response, well, I can't just generate stunts on these. It is that's a 25 to hit. So
I would imagine that hits me.
Yeah, it seems so. That is 16 points of damage.
Ow!
As it strikes out at you with a claw. So rushes you down, slashes at you with one of its claws, and then kind of like looms over Venehn at this corner of the room, preparing to continue its onslaught. That is all I can do right now, though. So we're on to Garas.
Okay, I'm gonna run in and swing at it with my
All right.
claymore.
Go
Great
for it.
sword. Let's hit it. Oh no. Oh no. That's a 13. Does a 13 hit?
13 does not hit.
Welp. That's it.
Yeah, you rush forward and slash at it, and kind of sensing your movement, it spins around on you, kind of knocking your blade to the side with one of its arms as your claymore goes wide, just like slams into the stone, avoiding the strike. That at the end of your turn, it is going to use a minor action to aim, kind of as it prepares for its next strike, as you see it kind of like pulling backwards as if it's preparing to pounce. That is going to be Shayra's turn now.
Oh, great. All right. I believe I will have Shayra will also aim with her longbow and take a fucking shot at this thing.
All right.
Not bad, Shayra. It's 5, 8, 12, 22 to hit.
Hits.
Awesome. Okay, so, and by aiming, okay, so she's gonna do a d6 plus 11. Woo! And a 6. So 11 plus 6 is 17 points of damage.
All right. 17 points of damage. That is a lot. All right. Once again, an arrow breaking through the rocky carapace. Is that it for Shayra?
Yeah, she minor action to aim, and then she took a shot.
All right. That is going to be Yaz's turn now.
Okay. Okay. Yaz is gonna use a minor activate
Oh, I
Um,
do. Yeah, well, wait, I fucked
Oh.
up because I never had to do the thing for the Vartal.
Go ahead.
It is going to use a major action at the end of its turn to make an attack in retaliation against Garas. So it's just going to strike out with a single claw. That's going to hit with a 24.
Yep.
That is going to be 18 points of damage.
Ouch.
Ouch.
As it just swipes out at you with this, again, massive limb that it just used to block your strike. Now it is Yaz's turn.
Okie doke. Yes. We'll activate. Use activate to envenom. So she's going to quickly add some marrow lock poison to 3 of her wounding arrows. And she's gonna take her major action to shoot one of those wounding marrow locked arrows at this monster.
All right.
Let's see if we hit. Gosh, I hope we hit. 13 plus 21 to hit.
Hits.
Woohoo! Okay, so it needs to make a test 15 stamina test.
It's stamina constitution, right?
It is stamina. I was just on my page with all my poisons. I believe it's stamina willpower? That doesn't sound right, but let me triple check.
I believe stamina is under constitution.
Yes, yeah, it'll be Constitution stamina, yes.
Okay.
Sorry, it was the other one that I was
it's
looking
all,
at.
It's all good. That is a 16.
Damn. Okay, so it will still take, in addition to just the regular damage, even on a save, it will take 1d6 penetrating damage on the fail, which will be 5. And then the regular damage from the bow, 2. Oh, that was double sixes. That's so 12 plus 12. So 24 points of piercing plus the 2 from the wounding, so 26.
26. All right.
Yes.
Here he is.
Big ol' hit.
Just
As
very quickly, just coat some arrows really quick.
yeah, you kind of break the vial over the arrows, letting the poison soak in as you aim, fire your crossbow, kind of at the same spot that Shara and Venehn have been hitting. The bolt just pierces straight into this creature. It lets out a shriek. It seems to be pretty resilient against the poison, but just the damage to the crossbow alone does a pretty good hit. That is the end of Yaz's turn. So the Vartral is going to... I think it is going to... yeah, it'll guard up, I think. It just took a big hit there. It's going to add... We're just going to say +1 to its defense for right now. Just maybe a little bit to help it out. So it sort of gets into a more defensive posture as others are, as everyone is ganging up on it. However, that will also apply as a penalty towards the actions it takes on its next turn. That is going to be Ziggy's turn now.
Cool. How big a round would you say this central chamber that we're in is?
It's not very big. Maybe like you were talking about diameter, or no, circumference? No, what's the
Circumference is around, diameter is across, radius is half.
Radius is half. Okay. If you're talking about diameter, sorry, we had to have a little geometry lesson there so I can remember. It's probably about maybe 40 feet across.
Easy.
So
Would you say that the Vardavart is within say 3 yards of me?
yeah,
Could I
it
close with
rushed
him?
in at you, and I don't think Venehn had really moved much, and like everything's happening pretty much right where all of you were standing
Great.
initially.
Brilliant. Then I would like to close whatever distance there is between us with a charge action.
Okay.
So that'll add, I'll move like 3 yards up to it, add +1 my attack roll. I'm also going to do the thing warriors can do, expert strike. So I'm going to remove 3 from this attack roll to add 3 to damage.
Okay.
So with the +1 from the charge, it means I'm netting a -2 to my attack roll, +3 to damage.
Got it.
And so to hit, it's not great, but I mean, I hit really hard. Is a 20 to hit?
20 hits. Yeah.
Great. Okay. No stunts, which is a bummer because I probably could have used a piercing on this, but let's go ahead and swing for a D6 plus 15. I rolled a 1. 16 damage. 16 damage.
Hey, I mean that's damage. Yeah, you strike with your using a hammer or using a sword. I don't remember.
Yep.
Use your hammer as it slams into the kind of the bulk of this creature's body. You don't imagine swinging at the legs. They're really small and hard to hit, and they're moving around really quickly. You swing at the biggest chunk of the body. It hits. You see cracks forming against the stone. Your hammer kind of shakes in your hand. That weird fingers going numb from the impact. But it seems like it did get through some.
Cool. For my minor action, I'm going to enter Guardian mode, and knowing that Venehn does not love being up close and personal with people, will probably move soon. I'm going to choose Garas as the target of my guardianness.
Okay.
So Garas, you get as long as I'm right next to you, you get +2 to your armor. And once per round, if anybody hits you, I can move 2 yards and whack them back.
Very nice. All right. That is end of your turn. It's going to use a major action to make 1 attack with a -1 penalty. It's going to retaliate against you, Ziggy. It's very likely going to hit. Your defense isn't that high anyway. But 23. No, 22. And damage, that is 18 points of damage.
I was muted. This isn't piercing or penetrating or anything,
No,
correct?
so you can apply your armor.
Great. I will take 6.
It is the Vartral's turn now. It kind of takes a more aggressive stance, and it brings up its kind of moving back on its back legs, almost like a praying mantis with these 2 massive arms, takes swings out. It's going to make 2 attacks. I'm going to have 1 against let's see, 1 is going to be against Garas, and we'll do another one against Venehn. Garas, that's a 23
That hits.
for 15 points of damage.
All right. Thank you, Ziggy.
Yeah, you get that +2 armor.
Yeah.
Val, I know you're doing a thing. I'm going to go ahead and roll my dice and figure my things for my counterattack.
Yeah. The last attack against Venehn. God, I can't roll stunts to save my life.
I don't know.
That is a 22 to hit.
Yes, you're literally always complaining about the fact that you roll stunts until you don't get them, and then you're mad.
And then I'm mad.
It's really funny. So you're always like,
Yeah.
oh, so many stunts.
The thing is, I'm prepared for stunts with this character, with this creature now, and I can't get them. That is 16 points of damage. And then you, as it attacks Garas, Ziggy, you leap into the fray to defend.
Yep, and I got a 30 on the attack roll.
Shit, yeah, that hits.
I got 5 stunt points. I'm looking over my stunts real quick. So I know I want to use 2 for piercing so I can get through that armor a little better. As a warrior, I can threaten for 1. I think I will probably do that. He gets 1,000,000 attacks per round, but that's at least one of them that'll have to go towards me.
Okay.
And I've got 2 more. How would you rule the minus the penalty on attack rolls from taunt? It says on their next turn. How would you rule that with the legendary action?
Good question. Taunt. I mean, that would probably go until I would apply that until the end of their next turn.
Hell yeah.
So for the action, that's what I was doing with the defense stuff too. Is applying it until the end of this turn.
Great.
So
Then I'm going to call it an ugly big beastie and spit at it. So I'm taunting and threatening, and I'm going to pierce armor. So damage from my attack is 16 with pierce.
Okay.
And let's see. Do you want to do the taunt or the threaten first?
Let's do the taunt.
All right. So I do a deception roll. Holy God! I rolled another 15. So that's 18. He's got to beat. Oh wait, no, that's not. Do I even have a communication? Oh no, I'm sorry. That's another 3. 21. 21 to beat.
Well, I got a 9, so I think you win.
Great. So -1 to attack rolls and any spells that it might cast until its next turn. And then let's do
this thing don't seem pretty big on casting spells.
Right, well, I'm
You
covering my
never
bases
know.
here. You never know.
And you see the little.
I didn't know this thing existed until
Out of
20
nowhere.
seconds ago.
What
so.
you didn't see is the tiny little wizard's hat.
Out of nowhere, like, it
And
takes
one
you-
of the little spindly legs has a little wand in it.
Yeah.
It's just the idea, just like he pulls out this little tiny head, just.
Oh, he
Now
puts
it's
it on.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like
But takes it
that
back
is
off
this
when it's done.
that's the second phase of this fight. Puts on
It's not
the
a
wizard
tiny
hat.
All right. So my threaten, I didn't roll nearly as well, but I'm a lot better at that. So I got a 9 on my dice. Strength, intimidate. So that's gonna be 15, 17.
Okay,
It's-
I rolled a lot better on this one. That is a 19.
Okay. All right. So he does not have to attack me next turn, but he should.
Okay, yeah.
He should.
Perfect. So the taunt succeeds as you describe to me like what you are doing to like how this attack goes that you are taunting and threatening this this creature.
So I think so. It just clawed at Garas,
Yeah.
and so I think I used my shield to kind of get in the way of a little bit of that, and then I wheel the shield around a little bit so that it's, you know, like a part of the claw is against the side of the shield. He wheels that around a little bit to pin the claw down and just brings his hammer down. And I think he brings like the front part of the beast down with it a little bit, so they're really like close face to face, and he just brings his hammer down on the front part of the claw, like, you know, hammering somebody in the thumb real hard. And just grins and spits in its face.
Yeah, as that happens, it just lets out I just very like alien moment with it, its mouth opening short and like these serrated teeth shrieking at you. You like hair getting blown back a little bit from it as it is like laser focused on you. All right, that is its major action. Minor action is just going to I think it will. This is mostly for flavor. I think it moves back a little bit and kind of like as you slam down the claw, kind of like breaking off the end of this leg. It like skitters backwards away from you as it after it shrieks in Ziggy's face and sort of holds itself there as it's preparing for whatever it's about to do next. That is going to be the end of its turn, which brings us to the end of the round. I would like someone to roll a d6 for me.
I'll do it.
Do it.
It's all Wally's fault.
A 1.
Okay, starting off strong.
Oh no.
As it backs up into the corner and or like backs up away from all of you after letting out this shriek, you can see like it moves even further back and then like digs its these claws into the ground, into the like the holes there, and pulls out this like this rotted wolf carcass, and it begins to like just furiously devouring a section of the carcass. You see blood and viscera and gore spraying out from it as it frantically consumes this corpse. I would like everyone to make a willpower morale test.
Uh, 18 for me.
18. Okay.
15.
Ziggy.
Oh, 15. What was that from Ziggy?
Also 15.
Oh, also 15. Okay.
20.
20. Okay. What Shayra got?
Oh, I guess I have to roll for Shara as well. Oh, she did better than I did, I think. 9, 13 plus 17 for Shara.
Okay. You all succeed as the this like gratuitous, like grotesque display in front of you begins to shake you, but you all remain focused and stalwart and do not get a -3 penalty to your defense for the next round.
Ooh.
That will be back to the start of the round with Venehn.
I have a question.
Yes.
I actually have two questions. One of them is to take a potion is what kind of action?
That's a good question. I think we do that as an activate action, so a minor action.
Okay. And then we talked about my ranger ability, but
Yes.
not actually how to use it.
I would say as a major action.
Okay.
You could use it.
Let's try it out. I'll use my major action to summon a guy.
Okay.
Friend.
To call an animal friend to
Call
your
a
aid.
friend to my aid.
Phone a friend.
All right. What does Venehn do? Do you have a specific animal call?
I mean, I think Venehn knows different animal calls.
But
Yeah.
does Venehn do like an animal call? Does he just go?
No, I think he's actually good at it.
I feel like it's just one universal.
I don't know. I'm not good at making animal sounds. But yeah, I think he is some kind of like, or maybe like some kind of like old carved like Dalish whistle that he keeps on his person or something.
Okay.
Something like that. Something fun like that.
All right. I think the ability has like a test that is a part of it. Am I right at that?
Yeah.
Let's see. Need to pull it up. Specializations, rogue, ranger. It is communication animal handling.
Yeah.
And target number is 13, the base target number.
Okay. I'll call out and see what's down here.
All right.
Mew. $19.
Yeah, you get it in spades. For anyone watching that knows this rules, I don't imagine many people do because it's a very obscure rule system. Normally this would take longer, but we're waiving that just to make this ability a little more viable. You begin to
A big whistle.
you let out a whistle, which carries throughout like this, this this strange. I'm imagining it's like a bone whistle that's been carved in a very particular way with this like warbling kind of strange, almost supernatural kind of presence to it. And as the whistle echoes through the chamber, you hear from one of the tunnels off to the side, hear this as a like large brown bear pushes through the tunnel and just shakes itself out, all this like dirt and dust coming off of its coat as it sort of locks eyes with you, Venehn, just and then turns and looks at the creature.
Excellent.
So essentially, you get to take a turn for the creature. We're just going to roll its initiative into yours, just because that's easiest, rather than having it be separate.
Okay.
So what does the bear do?
Well, first of all, Venin's gonna move because I don't want to be here
Okay.
where I am, right next to a big monster.
Yeah, it moved away from you too, so it's no longer like in your.
That's
face.
okay. I'll move.
Okay.
That's okay. And then the bear gets to move and attack.
All right.
So he does claws. It's not super good, but I did get the bear did stunt, which is fun. He's got his own stunts.
Yeah.
16.
Well, the 16 just misses,
Oh man.
unfortunately.
Well, I can do a stunt though.
I don't know if there's any stunts you can do on a
No,
miss.
the bear has a specific one. Or is it a successful attack? It has to hit it.
Oh no,
like the other
that's correct. Yeah. So the special stunt there for quick bite is
Oh, yeah, a
on a
successful
successful
attack.
attack. Yes,
one. Never mind.
but good question. Yeah, but it lunges forward
It tried.
towards. You can see this bear looks like it hates this thing
Good.
as it runs in, and the Vartroll seems to focus on it, and you can see it lets out like kind of a clicking shriek as the bear runs in. It swings out with its claws, trying to break them down the creature's body, but the Vartroll just nimbly dodges backwards and avoids the strike.
I'm happy
but-
to inform the room that the bear has almost as many hit points as I do. My constitution's
name
not
him?
very high. Not unless he survives.
You don't want to get attached to him if he's going to die during this combat. All right.
If he survives, he gets a name.
Barry Allen. That's good.
Yes, Barry.
That will be the end of Venin's turn, which will be the Vartroll's fabled action. It is going to make a minor action this time, and it is going to preemptively just do a defensive stance at the start here, which does mean it's going to get a stack with the penalty from threaten. So I believe it is going to do we'll say a +2. It's going to add 2 to its defense, but it's going to have -2 to any actions it takes, and with addition to the -1. So it's at -3 for any actions it takes this round. That will then be Garrus's turn.
Okay. So Garas sees that the thing went into defensive, and he twirls his blade, and he kind of holds it at his side, and Garas starts singing a song that starts off as like a really like simple melody, and then he just kicks into like this heavy metal like gutter scream as he's like singing this song to like rally you all into fighting this beast. As I'm using my Song of Valor, allies within 12 yards of you gain +1 bonus on all attack rolls as long as song is maintained. And I can use I can use a free action on any other rounds to keep the song going.
Nice. Awesome. So yeah, I think amidst like the shrieking and everything else, I won't make you sing.
Thank you.
But you begin to hear Garrus like, what is the vibe of the song? I just want
What
like,
does it
is
do
this
again mechanically
It
as
gives
well?
you all +1 to all attack rolls.
Oh, great. Okay.
The vibe is a very like it's a very like heavy song. Like this sounds like one of the songs that he definitely sings on one of the performances just to get the crowd like totally riled up and like ready to like mosh in the middle of this tavern.
Okay, got it. As the song fills you all with courage and valor, that it was that a major action to activate.
Yes, that was a major action to do
Okay,
that.
got it. Anything with a minor?
No, nothing with a minor.
Okay. End of Garrus's turn. The Vartral, I guess, is going to make an attack against the bear, since it's right there. That. Ooh. Well, it can't generate stunt points here, but that's the first time I would have stunted. That's a lot to hit. That's definitely more than is the bear's defense. I don't have the sheet up, but that is +9, 26.
Oh, its defense is only like 12.
Yeah. The damage though is going to be 18 points of damage. All right. That will be Shayra's turn now.
Sweet. First, same as the first. I think we'll aim and then shoot her. Ooh, that's not as good. Okay. 11 for the aim. 12 from Garas. Plus 10, 22.
22 hits.
Woo! Okay. 6 plus 11. So that'll be 15 points of piercing damage.
All
from
right.
Shira.
Got it.
Still no stunts. Hopefully we can fix that shortly.
Ooh, everybody's been struggling with that today.
Yeah. So just hammering those out.
All right. At the end of Shayra's turn, as she fires an arrow again, sinking into Vartrol, starting to look like a pincushion. It is going to. It's going to take the aim action for its next attack. So it begins to take a preparatory stance. That will be Yaz's turn now.
Okay, well, you added a +1 to hitting, Garas. Yaz is going to activate her death mark, which she calls out. She notices some, what probably people have already noticed already, like just something that'll hit it a little easier. With the activate action, mark a visible target for death. All ranged and melee attacks against a target, not just for me, all ranged and melee attacks, +1 damage bonus. So now everyone gets a +1 to hit and +1 to damage.
Nice.
And with my major action, I'm gonna shoot her too!
Go for it.
With another one of those poisoned wounding arrows. Okay. That is 8, 10 plus 10 plus. Does an 18 hit?
18 misses.
Oh.
With its defense.
No, I didn't add the +1 from Garas, so 19?
19 hits.
Yes! Okay, thank you, Garas. Thank you so much. Amazing. So with that hit, I also have 4 stun points. So with my devastating bow, I get +3 to that. So now I have 7 stun points. Okay. We got stunts. So I am going to going to do a lethal blow.
All right.
I'm going to pierce armor. And I'm going to... Yeah, that might be all I can do. Yeah, I'll do lethal blow and pierce armor. It does, with the hit, need to make another 15 stamina test.
Oh, for the poison?
Yes.
It passes.
Damn it. Oh, could really use that marrow lock right now, but that's okay. So it'll take the 1d6 penetrating, even on the save. 3. So 3 penetrating. And then we're gonna do 2 plus 2. So 4d6 for the hit. Yeah. 12. I can't do math. 16. 18. Plus 12 is 30 plus 1 from my death mark plus 2 from the wounding arrows is 33 points of damage.
Okay.
Pierced armor.
Pierced armor. Got it. All right.
Wicked.
Yeah, nasty hit as you aim with your crossbow, noticing a section where we'll say like where Ziggy had hit before, this hammer that like weakened that area, breaking through the carapace, firing a crossbow bolt at that weakened spot. It breaks through, exposing a section of the kind of soft insect-like body underneath. And as the arrow or as the bolt kind of like pierces out like the other side, it lets out it kind of staggers back, lets out another shriek as it does, enraged by this hit.
Melee! Make a soft spot for the rest of us! That's the death mark for you.
It at the end of your turn is going to strike out in retaliation at you.
That's fair.
That is a 19 to hit.
19 is my defense, yes.
That will be 17 points.
Okay, and this isn't penetrating. I can use my armor? Okay.
Yes. Okay. That will be Ziggy's turn now.
Does it seem with its reach that it could pretty much hit anybody?
Pretty much. It has a special ability which it gives it a reach of up to 3 yards away, so 10 feet. So yeah, okay. I guess 9 feet. But yeah, so it's got a pretty big reach in this small space.
Okay. Barry Manilow, no! I switched the target of my guardianship over to the bear, and I'm going to charge the Varderol.
All right.
I'm going to do the expert strike, take -3, but I'm getting plus one from charging anyway, and +1 from the song, so it's -1.
Yeah.
And then +4 to damage. So that's 9, 12, plus 14, 26 to hit.
Yeah, hits.
No stunts. But then we're going to get in 4 plus, it's normally 12, so that would be 16 plus another 4, 20 points of damage.
Okay. Oof.
And that was my major action. I'm going to do the minor action attack that warriors can do. So this is just a -2. I can't do expert strike on it. But the +1, so -1 to the attack, no extra damage. And wow. Will a 18 hit?
18 just misses.
Oh, that's right, it's 19. Dang.
Yeah, it is 19 right
Already
now
added your +1 from Garas?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I rolled 2 1s and a 2.
Oof. The fact that you got that close to hitting with almost the lowest you could possibly roll on the die
Is a good sign, I
is
think.
is a good
That
sign.
is, yeah.
But yeah, just misses on the follow-up as you strike it the first time, just hammering this weak spot, trying to open up more of an area for everyone to attack. It retaliates in kind of response to that by recoiling backwards and slashing out with its one of its claws. You have to jump back to avoid missing the strike as you do. That is it for Ziggy. Minor action at the end of your turn is just going to aim as it begins its turn next, and it is going to make 2 attacks. Let's see, who hasn't attacked in a bit? Venehn very specifically moved further away, so I'll say Venen's probably the one person that it can't get to currently. Let's do an attack against Ziggy. And this is the problem with animals, is I don't want to hit them. It has a natural armor, which is not wanting to hurt animals.
I'm guarding him.
Yeah, I'm actually, Yaz hit it so hard with that last attack.
I did.
That I think it just
slice
really,
it.
I think it's really being really defensive against Yaz. So I think it's going to
Really
take attack
fair.
against Ziggy, and then minor action to like close it on Yaz and make an attack against her too. All right. First one against Ziggy. That is an 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. All right. Yeah, defense. I always forget that with this game. That is 15 points of damage.
I will take 3.
Damn. Yeah. That's why I need those stun points to do some pierce armor. Which I don't know if that would even affect you.
Nope.
Yes, that is a 20 to hit you.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Which again, no stunts. That is max damage though. 22 points of damage.
Ooh.
And that is going to be all the Vartrol can do on its turn. I feel like this thing's gonna die before I get a chance to do any of the cool stunts it has. That's what happens when they lock stunts behind a paywall. There are the abilities behind the stunt wall is that it's completely up to luck whether or not I get to use them. That will be the end of its turn, which means we're starting another round. Somebody else roll a d6 for me.
I'll do it.
All right, go for it.
Me or you?
Van's doing it.
Okay.
3.
3. All right. The Vartrol, after it takes it slashes at Yaz and at Ziggy, and it continues to like pound against the ground afterwards, causing the room to kind of shake, and the rocks begin to break off, and a section of the ceiling or rocks begin to fall from the ceiling above as it thrashes. I need everyone to make a strength might test.
That's a 19 for me.
19.
Only a 15 for Ziggy. Not rolling well over here.
It's all good. That still succeeds.
17 for Yaz, but only a 13 for Shira.
Okay.
The bear got a 22.
Nice. Good
Yeah,
job,
bear.
Good job.
Bear.
Yeah, bear.
Venehn got a
Get
10.
a bear.
No, Venehn. Okay.
No.
So the
He's
people
not
that
strong.
rolled, anyone who rolled a 15 or higher takes 1 point of damage.
Yeah, cool.
The Venehn and Shara take 11 points of damage.
Oof.
Does armor apply to this?
Yes, armor does apply.
Okay, so
Oh,
she'll
armor does
only
apply? Oh,
take
okay.
4.
And I take-
Okay. Yeah, so I assume the rest of you take no damage from that
Yeah.
first one.
Yep.
Yep. Not good. That is the end of the round, though. Venehn, it is back to you and your bear.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay, Barry Manilow.
Gonna have the bear attack again.
All right,
Okay, he's gonna do it this time. Ready?
you got it,
He's
Yogi.
got bonuses too.
He rolled. The bear's got 6 stomp points.
Woo!
Okay.
And +1 hit.
Yeah, the bear's doing good. The bear's gonna replace Venehn. 16.
We just put a wig on the bears like you're the new Venom now.
+1 from Garas, 25.
Yeah,
Yes!
I'm good at shooting bows and arrows.
With 6 stomp points. Okay.
Woo!
you have
Um,
to sneak in there. The bear just.
Go bear, go. Okay, let me do the claw damage first.
okay.
16.
+1.
That is with the +1.
Cool.
16, nice.
And then for 2
No.
stomp points.
Okay. Did you want to apply any stunts to that first attack, though?
Well, the bear's only got 2 stunts he can do.
Oh, it can use any of the stunts.
Can
Those
do
are
all
just
of
its
them?
favorite. Yeah, those are just its
his
favorite
favorites.
stunts. Yeah.
Okay. I've literally never done this before.
Yeah, the way that creatures work and anyone can use any stunts. It's just the sheets give you favored stunts for those enemies as a cheat sheet
Okay.
for the GM.
Well, why would he use... Why would I do quick bite if I could do the other one?
I think that's probably less stunt because I know lightning attack is or dual strike is
4,
Oh.
yeah, I guess quick bite is 2. Okay, so we'll do... how much damage does the bite do? D6 plus 6. Oh. What do you like to do? Let's have him do a lethal blow.
okay.
So we'll do 2d6 extra damage for the claws. So it's 8 more. And then he can knock prone for 1.
All right, so it was 16 plus 8, so that's 24 points of damage.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that's 5, and then for 1, the bear can knock prone.
all right. Yeah.
Knock him over.
Knock him over.
Yeah, the bear sweeps the legs as
the
it
leg, Johnny.
charges into it, does a bit of a shoulder charge, and then kind of mauls down at the creature, just ripping chunks of carapace off of the Vartarol.
It's a good bear.
Yeah, the bear showed up. The bear hates this thing. This thing has killed and eaten so many of the bear's friends. This is a revenge
Yeah,
mission
this
for
is
the bear.
revenge. This is the Revenant.
This is the best Brother Bear sequel ever.
Venehn, you still take your turn though.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I will knock a wounding arrow. So I still have a couple of those left, and I'm gonna try for a backstab. And that's my major action, right? That's my major action. Yeah. So I'll minor action aim,
Okay.
and then I'll try to backstab. So I do stealth, and the Vartarol does perception seeing.
Okay. I only got a 15.
I was doing the math to see if I could possibly roll lower than that, but I can. Not by much. 12, 18, 22.
Yeah, you got it.
Don't worry about it. Okay, and then I will...
Oh, you also get a bonus for being not prone, right? +1 bonus to attack rolls. But
23. +1 from Garas. 24.
that hits.
Anything else? I think that's all of them.
Take one for just being a swell guy.
Did I get one for summoning a literal bear?
A good boy point. Just take a good boy point.
Alright, so I will attack with my bow. It's such a big number.
Yeah, you hit.
I roll 6, 5, 5. My bow by itself has a +10.
God. All right.
I didn't need to aim at all, but I got 6 stunt points.
Oof.
A 6 on the die, baby.
Perforate!
Yeah, I was looking at that guy. Okay, so it'll be... This is for the bow. This is for the backstab. And perforate is 2. I don't need to seize the initiative. I go first. Yeah, let's perforate for 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I can make a second backstab attack. I gotta dig out some d6 so I can keep track of what I'm doing here. Okay. You're for the backstab. You're for the bow. You're for rolling the second attack. $20.
To hit for
Yes,
the second
to
attack.
hit, to hit.
Also hits.
Okay. You're for the perforate. That was only 2 of my stunt points.
Bear's armor.
Yeah, I could. Let's see.
You can do a lot of stuff with your spawn
I have a
points.
whole big
Got a
freaking
lot.
list. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
this
because that
whole
was
list.
2. So
You
you
can
have
like mighty blow.
Yeah, you
you
mighty
can
blow
like
it.
you can go nuts.
Okay, so that's damage right now. Let's hit a pierce armor for 1, so that would be 3. And my pierce armor ignores armor now.
Oh,
Penetrating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's penetrating now.
damn.
Hell yeah.
Fuck him up.
And then 3 left. Yeah, eat shit. Lightning attack for 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
have
you make
to,
another
I have to have
attack.
an
Fuck 'em
arrow
up.
knocked, but I can load as a free action.
Yeah, you can just keep loading.
Let's
So
go.
you're going full Legolas here. Go to make your third
Yeah,
attack.
I'm not gonna let this bear outshine me.
You're getting
Crazy?
competitive
Ben is
against
just
the bear.
mumbling under his breath.
Called it out.
You are
The
not
bear
gonna
is
do
just
that.
like sitting here mauling, and you're like, you're making me look bad, bear.
No, Venehn is very proud of the bear. Still doesn't get a name unless it lives. Lightning attack. That's not as good. That's the other one. Lightning attack, load missile. Okay, yeah, more shots. 21.
Also hits. Okay. So roll damage for the first one because that's the only one that's penetrating. The second 2 attacks are not,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Perforate. Not perforate. Pierce armor. There you are. Okay. So this is the penetrating one. No. You go, yes. You go with the penetrating one because that's the backstab. That's double 6s all the way across the sky.
God damn.
12 plus the wounding arrow is 2, 3, plus 1 from Yasmera, 24
Okay.
for that one.
All right.
The perforate doesn't. I can put the perforate and the lightning attack together.
Yeah, because it's going to get... well, no, because the armor applies to each one separately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then I don't do that. $12.
Okay.
And the lightning attack is 16.
All right. Chivas Kribus. That was a lot of damage.
It was 6. That's what 6 stun points can do, baby.
Yeah. Ridiculous. You
Yay!
fire 3 arrows
my
in
middle
quick
name.
succession into the Vartral. Again, this thing is just riddled with arrows and crossbow bolts now. It is very badly hurt. You see like retreating, like this ichor pouring out of it. It's extremely rough.
Yeah, drop down on us from the ceiling again. See what happens.
Yeah, as the bear is just munching on it. That will be the end of Venehn's turn. It is going to make an attack in retaliation against the bear because it's on top of it right now.
That's true, yeah.
That's fair.
Which is
I don't think you can miss the bear.
I don't think I can.
Yeah.
That's 25.
It's a little higher than its defense.
I think it hit.
That is 15 points of damage.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a retaliatory strike against
Yeah.
it. I already rolled. I rolled so bad, but I'm pretty sure I still actually hit because I'm not taking any penalties right now.
Bear's kind of rough, but that's okay.
So 20 damage or 20 to hit on the Varderall.
Hits.
I got 1 stunt point. So I guess I'm gonna threaten him again.
Go for it.
So damage from the attack is gonna be 13, no piercing or anything. And okay, that's a good roll. 13 plus what is my, that's 6 from strength, so 19, and another 2, 21 is my intimidate.
You succeed on the intimidate.
Great. So on its turn, it's got to attack me in some way.
Okay.
Not a big
Awesome.
thing. It's kind of attacking everybody, but you know.
Okay, got it. That is the Vortoral's action after Venehn goes as it strikes the bear, gouging a huge laceration into the bear's paunches, and Ziggy leaps in to protect his blood brother, and hits the bear. That is going to be Garrus' turn.
Okay. I use a free action to maintain the song. Song's still going.
Still bopping.
So that's plus 11. 5 stun points. That's a 21.
Hits.
Sweet. Okay. I'm gonna look at my stun points. All right. I will use let me just double check this again. Okay. I'm gonna use 1 point to pierce armor.
Okay.
I'm going to use where is it? I know I have it. Yeah, it is. I'm going to use another 1 point for mighty blow.
Okay.
So that's 3 left. Yeah, I'll knock it prone. Yeah, knock it prone. That's what I'm gonna do.
All right.
Okay, so that's mighty blow. That is okay. 3 plus 96. Ooh. Plus 6. And I get 1 plus 1 from Yasmera.
Mhm.
So that is 26 points.
And you pierced armor?
Yes, I do.
All right. It has an armor of 11. So that goes down to 21. And
No,
it's
it's pierce armor as in I goes directly through.
Oh, does
'cause
all of
pierce.
yours do that now?
Yeah.
Okay, I
I don't.
You don't?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yasmera's, me and Ven are the only ones that
Got
that
it.
Yeah, I think we got it
Either
from
way-
2 different places, but
Had 16 hit points left.
yeah, mine's from Marksman.
Got it. Garrus, describe how you kill it.
Okay, so Garas is still singing the song, and as he's singing the song, he's like still singing along as he runs up to this monster, and then as he jumps up in the air, brings his sword above his head, you hear him hit the most perfect high note you have ever heard in your entire life, as he just brings the blade down straight through the thing's neck and slams it onto the ground.
As you decapitate this creature, leaping in the air, perfect high note resonating through the chamber, you slash through the neck. As you land on the ground, the head kind of pulls away, the tendons and viscous innards underneath kind of holding it for a moment, as then it slams onto the ground with a heavy thud, and the rest of the body collapses as well.
Eat your heart out, Christina.
Me?
The
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
You know we
Yeah.
all call you Christina.
Yeah, everyone calls you Christina.
Who's
I've-
Christina?
tweeting.
I've definitely called you Christina before. Christina Aguilera.
as
Sid
the
was like, what did I
I was like,
do?
I do.
Who? What? Wait, I feel very strange right now.
Garrus very clearly identifies with Brittany.
Yeah.
Even my
Obviously.
family doesn't even call me Christina anymore at this point. Like, I was just like, am I in trouble? Like, it's like calling someone's full name. It's like you called me Christina Renee. What? Sorry. I had a moment.
as the chamber returns to stillness and quiet, the bear just pulling back from the Vartarol and then kind of like sitting on its haunches in the center of the room. The eye, the gemstone continuing to move and scan around the room. Everything seems quiet. The only thing you notice is that the corpse of the Vartarol still pulses and moves slightly, and you watch as very slowly the wounds closing. As you can tell, the creature, even on this semblance of death that it's at, is continuing to restore, attempting to restore itself. And Venehn, you know from the stories that you have heard about these things, these Vartarol, is as long as they are bound to guard a place, that they are unable to fully die. You have time, but one day, at some point, this thing will return.
We have passed its test. We should not linger here.
I'll go up, put some gloves on, check for traps.
Okay, yeah, to perception searching.
Yes, please. Okay. 11 plus 19.
19. You do not see any signs of any mechanisms or hidden components to
I'm not
this.
gonna pull an Indiana Jones and this thing is gonna like just crumple to the ground and nothing like that.
Does not seem so.
Okay. Still putting on gloves and go up to the thing where it's sitting and tentatively pick it up.
You move to the pedestal. Place your hands tentatively around the edges of the amulet and lift it from its space. Waiting a moment. No signs of any movement in the chamber. Only the faint pulsing, the humming of the amulet within your fingers. And
I think it's just gonna pass it off to either Shara or Venehn. This doesn't feel right. What do you all wanted?
I'll take it.
Okay.
Shara lets you take it. And in this moment, the last thing I'll leave you for the break is as the stillness returns and you wait in quiet, Ziggy, you hear one more time that I think as like the song that Garas had been singing is like kind of caught in your head for a moment, is then replaced by that haunting melody that's been tormenting you now for weeks. And there is a whispered voice in your mind that says, "In death, sacrifice." And your eyes blink for a moment in the darkness, and you're standing once again in a courtyard. You see the banners of the wardens flying overhead in the setting sun as a collection of 4 funeral pyres burn in front of you without bodies to top them. And you remember this moment as the last time, or the first time, you said farewell to Reyes, Ray, Bria, and Doman.
I think he's just quietly sobbing. I don't think there's anything for him to say or do. He can't fix it. He thinks they're dead. And yeah, we just lost everything.
As you feel the heavy weight of that loss returning to your chest once again, and in that moment of despair, something changes within the memory. You feel the ground trembling under your feet as the floor breaks away and you tumble down into darkness as you feel hands gripping you, and you are consumed in a swarm of dark spawn as they rise from the ground beneath your feet. And in those moments of pulling against them and feeling your body being torn asunder in this onslaught, your eyes open once again in the chamber back in the Temple of Drathamen, and all of you see Ziggy standing there, shield and hammer raised, swinging, having just been swinging wildly in the center of the room, returns back to himself, breathing heavily, eyes full of fear. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Oh boy.
All right, everyone. Good job. You killed it.
Yeah.
Solve the monster puzzle.
Celebration.
We solved my monster puzzle. Yeah, let's celebrate. Woo.
Yaz is
times.
just pissed that her fucking poison didn't work.
The thing didn't have any resistance or anything, like there's no mechanical resistances or anything like that in this game, but it did make sense that it didn't work considering this thing can spit poison.
Yeah,
and had
that's
a poison
fair.
spit ability.
Yeah.
It never got to use that because I didn't get any stun points I could spend, but
Oh, well.
it did have something. So narratively or fiction,
That
it
makes
made
sense.
sense in the fiction that it didn't work.
It's just got high
It was
stamina
a
too.
dope
That's
ass
fair.
fight though.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. Well, we'll talk more about that later, but for right now, let's go and take our break. I recommend any of you out there watching do the same. Drink some water, eat a snack, stretch, whatever you need to do, and we'll be back here in a few minutes to continue our session. Until then, stay tuned. Welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took our break. We're going to go ahead and jump back in right where we left off. Yasmera, kind of from the other perspective, Yasmera, you pick up the amulet as you step back, hand it over to Venehn. Suddenly, the three of you begin to hear, or you see, like Ziggy kind of like glassy-eyed, frozen in the corner. And just as you're about to say anything or ask him, he lets out a roar and begins to and draws his hammer and just begins to swing violently and wildly everywhere around him, anyone that even gets close to him. This happens for just a few seconds of him swinging around, just as the point you're trying to figure out how you're going to subdue him or try to protect yourselves. He stops, freezes, more lucidity coming back to his eyes as he blinks and like recognizes all of you once again.
I think in that moment, Yaz just like mom armed everybody. Just like instinctively, like just.
Question.
Yes.
Because of my training as a Grey Warden, like I've been through it, would I recognize what Ziggy is going through?
That is a good question. I mean, it's not like, I mean, I guess my biggest like number one question, because the time that you've spent with wardens, like you were initiated, you've spent some time around them, like it's one of those things. It's like I don't imagine a lot of wardens like necessarily talk about. It's not like in a handbook or something, but there is like an understanding, and I can't imagine that people would be new wardens would be initiated without somebody at some point bringing that up and it just getting mentioned. So yeah, I mean, I think you would generally be aware in your, I mean, because you've been a warden for a couple of years now.
I even reach so far, if you don't mind, because Ziggy, we had that one scene at least, and I think there were many other unspoken scenes where Ziggy was kind of doing some mentoring with Garas as far as being a Grey Warden. And I think Ziggy absolutely would have forewarned him of that, because especially Garas is so happy and deeply in love, and Ziggy would not want that to be torn away from him without him being aware of it coming first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not like it happens guaranteed 25-30 years out. Some wardens start to feel the calling very soon after becoming a warden, so he would not want like your happiness and your happiness with Lucia to have been fucked up by one of you suddenly starting to hear the calling and you not know about it.
Yeah, so do with that what you will, but I think that's fair.
Garas looks at Ziggy for a bit, and like once he like looks like he's calmed down and like stabilized himself, he kind of moves past the mom arm that is Yasmera and walks up to him, and he kneels down because Ziggy's short, and I'm certainly like he's a little clenched over because of what happened.
Yeah, I think Ziggy's probably on his knees himself, and his hammerhead and shield have both fully thudded in the muck and viscera.
So how long? Like, I mean, how long has this been going on?
I'm sorry. I didn't want to go. It started in Valrio. I knew this was going to be my last trip.
Okay, well, did it live up to expectations?
I don't think I've gotten to the worst of it yet. It's already worse than I could have imagined.
I remember how you described it to me. It's kind of like you said that being a Grey Warden is like running down a hill. And you're just running and running, but then eventually that hill suddenly gets steep. Then you start tumbling and tumbling, tumbling and tumbling down it, and you hit the grisly end. You don't know when the steepness is going to happen, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It sounds like to me though that in the past, I'm certain you had, the other guys, those. I call them I call them Blue Justin, but the point is, I'm certain you had them by your side running down that hill. So you kind of knew that sudden drop wouldn't be so scary because you knew that they would be right there. But now they're not. And that must suck.
For reassuring words, you are not going to have Park.
Yeah. I have an old man back home with a curly mustache that's been feeding me good words. Sometimes I listen to them.
Yeah,
The point is this. You're not alone running down that steep hill. Yeah, some of the people who are around us, yeah, they are not going to be hitting that steep point. They're just going to be running down that hill. Who knows how long they're going to be running down that hill. But hey, when that sudden drop happens, you got me there. And you got the others too. So you're not alone anymore.
I think he reaches out and puts a hand on your shoulder and kind of uses a bit of that leverage to help him lift up, reaching another hand down to his broken leg, wincing in pain. And he says, "You're a lot stronger and smarter than you fucking look, Garas." And he flashes a look over to Yasmera when he says that. And then he casts his eyes over to Venehn.
I'm patching up the bear.
Very important.
All right. You good, old man?
No. Let's get the fuck out of here.
I
Please.
agree. Let's get the fuck out of here and get you back home. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to have the wildest night ever. We're going to have food. We're going to have drinks. We're going to have a bunch of short, broad women with nice beards just for you, because I know you like that.
He gives a sort of that kind of laugh where you're crying, your face is full of snot, but somebody says something that makes you laugh a little bit. So it's just kind of a wet little laugh. And he reaches down and picks up his shield and hammer and starts to trudge back up the way we came. You see the way he holds the shield and hammer, though, is not... He's just carrying them.
I think at that point, yeah, it's just without saying anything, it's just gonna go and, oh no, I really can't give you a shoulder, because that would bend me fully over.
Give me a hip.
Yeah, kind of. I pick up, just pick him up and I set him on my hip like you hold a baby.
No.
No. No.
He loves you. He'll fight you for that.
I think instead, with the detritus around, yeah, it's gonna look for like a sturdy root or stick and give you something to like crutch it.
He passes you his hammer and takes the bone or rock or stick or whatever.
Got it. So, four of you and Shayra, Venehn, you're carrying the eye.
Yeah.
You doing anything with it, or you just stick it in your pocket?
He eats it.
I eat it.
Tummy.
Bet you didn't plan for that.
Gotcha, bitch.
I feed it to the bear.
Buries it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Suddenly
wait, does
bear's
the bear gets to leave now?
You can if you
Does it
want to
get-
leave. I
does
think
it get
the
stuck
ability
down there?
technically like lets you have him for like a couple hours.
Yeah. We'll bring the bear back up with us.
I mean, the question is like, I think again with the way this ability works, and it's like if you want to keep the bear with you, you can keep this bear with you specifically.
I
And
do
not
have an
to,
ability
like,
that lets me teach animals tricks.
yeah. If you want to keep and train this bear now that you found in a cave beneath
This
a temple,
is my bear.
Yeah.
You have a
This is
bear
my
to help
bear
carry
now.
Bear, we
Ziggy.
shall conquer fate.
The bear could probably help carry Ziggy also.
The bear could probably reverse the calling.
Yeah, the bear's
Absolutely.
really
the bear eats
fucking
the-
busted up though.
If you fed the bear the amulet, the bear says, "Oh, thank you."
This
Holy
is
shit, the bear
Stirthamen
can
in
talk.
bear form.
Yeah.
The bear
No,
can
I
talk.
don't
Oh
feed
my
the bear the
God.
amulet. I'll teach the bear how to talk. Don't worry.
I can see everything now. Yeah, you can bring your bear with you and come up with a name for it.
I have a
just
name for the bear.
What's the
Oh,
bear's
yeah.
name?
What's the bear's name?
The bear's name is Halani. It's spelled Halani. It's the elven word for help or helper.
Oh, I like that.
Nice.
Lonnie.
I love
Um,
that.
That's the bear.
I love
Does
that.
he have a little patch in his ear missing from all the battle damage?
Probably. He's probably freaking. This bear is probably busted.
Yeah.
Busted ass bear.
So I guess my question is,
sucks.
you're all leaving this antechamber here and beginning to head back. Venehn has the eye. You do know.
I do want to look at it.
Yeah, you do know. Waiting for you back at topside, Manello or no, jeez, no, hold on. What's his
Minetto.
name? Minetto.
Milano cookies.
He
Yeah.
can wait a few more fucking minutes, okay?
Tell that
Yeah,
colonizer
well,
to relax.
I was gonna say that your plan was to give the eye to him, so this might be your only chance to like learn anything about it, unless you have other plans. But
Yeah, I do want to look at it.
okay.
I just don't
Yeah,
want to be in this room.
Yeah, you head back up the stairs to the room with the masks.
I like that
relatively
room
safe.
better.
Yeah.
I understand how that room works.
Are the masks like permanently attached to where they're at now?
No.
Ziggy fully clocks out. He grabs the comm mask. He sits down, leans up against something, puts the comm mask on, and just fully disassociates.
Okay. I think that's
Sweet.
fine.
I didn't think about the mask being used medicinally, but yeah,
That's great.
That does work. As you take the mask up, the dais like closes once again too. So you don't have to worry
I
about
think that's
the
probably a
Vartol.
good thing in the long term anyway.
Yeah, the
let the
Vartol-
Elven Temple closed doors be closed.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah, you look over the amulet. Once again, I'll describe it. So it's an enchanted gemstone, like a deep emerald green, set into an amulet that's adorned with elven runes and symbols associated with Durthamen. It does feel innately magical, like as you're holding it, like there is something to this, and you get this like as you're holding it, like like inspecting it, there's like this like itch in the back of your mind, like there are secrets within this, like there are things you could learn from this item.
Ben wants to put it on so bad.
I have a big hammer. If you do something stupid, I'll just knock you over the head.
What would the left hand of Fenharal do?
Not stupid shit.
Stupid is as stupid does.
Someone could also do, if you want to try to understand the runes and like what this could do a cunning arcane lore, or a cunning cultural lore, which I would give Venehn a bonus to, being an elf. or if you're Dalish.
Did someone say lore? What? I have
I also
nothing
don't know
magic.
if it'll be helpful at all, but Ziggy, it does have a focus in enchantment.
Oh,
So it like he's
Yeah.
again he's fully disassociated, but if somebody wants to ask him something, he might be able to help
yeah, that
somebody else figure something out.
that'll work too.
I'll roll cultural lore since I got it. Why not?
Okay.
What am I 18.
18. Okay. There are you've probably read you read some of the books that Minetto had, and we've already discussed, like, Yas maybe doing some extra research in Dalish culture prior to this journey. The runes that are on this that adorn this amulet specifically relate to the practice of like divining, divination, and foresight. Like the way Minetto described it to you is that he could use this object, this relic, to learn things that have been lost to, like, learn secrets of magic that have been lost to time, to understand, to educate the mages of Thedas in practices that the Chantry and the Imperium have kept secret, to essentially to bypass the restrictions that have been put in place in the understanding of magic and its like development. And from what you gather looking at this is like the means of doing that. It's not that the eye itself contains this information. It's not, it's not like a hard drive of information. It is a tool that could be used to essentially see and divine secrets, that to peer like into the fade to see reflections of things that have happened or are yet to happen.
Okay, you said runes, and they're probably different runes than the dwarves use, but yeah, maybe Ziggy can take a peek at this too.
Yeah, I mean, we can kind of roll it into Ziggy looking at it. That's about, like, Ziggy can confirm that too, that this relic could essentially be used by someone to give them sort of a essentially allow them to divine past, present, and future.
It's magic shit. That's the wisest words that Yaz has on the subject. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
It could be used for divinations of some kind.
It would seem logical at this point for any of you, should you have any questions, to perhaps use this opportunity to get something before you give it back to Minetto, assuming that is still what you want to do. I agree, it's great power, great risk, a lot of great going on there.
I don't use tools that I don't understand. Takes a step back. That's not saying anything against anyone else giving something a shot, but I'm probably not the person that you would tap for this particular endeavor.
Yeah, I am not a magic person or ancient relic person.
guess gives a pointed glance to Sharon and Venehn.
I mean, it's theirs.
Most of what I needed to learn, I've seen here already. There's no great mysteries, I think, that would be worth my use of this item. If there's nothing that any of you seek to know or understand, then perhaps it's better not to meddle with it.
Oh, don't get me wrong, there are so many things I would love to know and understand. I just...
I'm gonna try to use it.
Okay.
This is gonna make the thing... I feel like I'm going to break this damn thing. I don't... Me and magical items, we don't get along very well.
Yasmera trying to use a computer.
Exactly.
Just like she
Exactly.
does the click.
So Venehn, as you're the one that's, or you were holding, I guess Gaz took it briefly as she hands it back to you. What does Venehn want to know?
I want to know about my arm.
My arm. Okay. Is there a specific question about it that?
I mean, I guess how does it work is kind of broad. But I mean, mostly Venehn wants
It can
to
be broad, but
know
I
like
just
what
imagine.
like how it works, like what's keeping these bindings on, like what's keeping it. How does it work? How does it work? Why is there someone else's arm on my body and it works?
Yeah. Okay. As you think back to like that last exchange that you had with Lady Richelieu, and the secret, the what was lost in that moment when you decided it wasn't worth the risk of keeping her alive, and you ended her torment of you. You see the movement within the gemstone kind of steadies as it, like a pupil, kind of dilates and focuses on you. And in your mind, in this moment, kind of similar to what Ziggy has been going through, you hear like this kind of like this whispering, and you are confronted with a vision as you're like pulled from your body, like pulled back, and thrust outside of yourself, tumbling through the air, until you steady once again in just outside of actually no, we'll take it even further back. You see a through the forest, into the dales, into the emerald graves, you see your clan, not the fractured bit of it that you encountered with Shayra, but with the after the fire, after your departure, you see a collection of them for a moment, having a conversation. You hear a few like bits and pieces of dialogue. It's of a couple of elves, ones that you recognize, friends of yours. Oh, one of them steps forward and says, "They've been gone for a long time. We should go looking for Venehn. I'm worried in the state that he was in, wandering off like that. We saw him in the fire, and I'm sure he's still alive." And you hear a couple of the others saying, "There's so few of us left. We can't risk anyone else seeking him out." And the conversation continues until the kind of cuts forward, and you see a few members of your clan during the evening rising, packing their bags and leaving off into the forest. They kind of, as you zoom forward in time, traveling back to the scene of the fire, traveling further, looking through villages and nearby towns, asking around, looking for any side of you. A couple of times they'll encounter a farmer or a guard at one of the towns who will like point them in a direction. And you recognize these are towns that you made your way through after the fire, when you were separated from everyone, and you wandered off and ended up making your way north towards Valrio, where Lady Richelieu found you. The time passes, continuing this these chain of events, as you see these few members of your clan find their way to the gates of Valrio. They kind of look a bit wide-eyed, a bit lost as they wander into the city. Then the vision shifts, and you see a younger version of yourself, a bit dirtied and down on your luck, missing your arm as you are doing odd jobs throughout the city, trying to make a living, taking what you can, until you're met by and invited in by Lady Rishu. You remember those first moments of meeting her, and this generosity shown by this very affluent person, this influential person in the city. The moment of distrust, of uncertainty, as she invites you in, feeds you, clothes you, provides you with a place, only asking for some work to be done for her, delivering messages, doing some like chores around the manor house. Your vision doesn't follow you so much as it follows her, and you see always in the periphery Lady Richelieu kind of keeping an eye on you, the gears turning behind her eyes. The vision then follows her, and you see her in the cover of night, meeting with several people, and this happens on multiple occasions, with her having these like clandestine meetings around the city, mostly just engaging in kind of the normal kind of illicit activities that she was involved in, paying off cutthroats and spies to gather information or eliminate the competition for her. One of these meetings, you see her speaking with a older Navaran gentleman in a shady corner of a lounge in off of the Sun Gates in Valrio. It's late in the evening. They're speaking, and this figure who's kind of gaunt, very kind of sallow face, receding hairline, and a couple of like tattoos around his eyes, and she looks to him and says, "Your work is very interesting. I'm curious, how do you come by the resources for your projects?" And he kind of leans in and says, "That is surely something that my lady is not would not wish to sully your hands with the details of, but suffice it to say, I make do with what I can." She nods and says, "What if I could provide you with a test subject? Someone capable who I'm very interested in having in my debt." He thinks on it for a moment and says, "Well, a living subject would be most welcome. I'm sure there's a few theories I could try out. There is considerable risk, though. There's a strong likelihood that this individual that you would be bringing forward could die in the process. She says, that's no matter. There's always more, but this one has promise. He nods and says, well, with the payment for the services, I would be most inclined to help you, my lady. She nods and she says, and if you are successful, more arrangements could be made. The Navarran man nods and the vision fades, and you see Lady Richelieu coming to you. You're watching this vision from, like, again, third person. You see her going to speak with you and says, so, Venehn, I'm very happy for everything you've been doing around the house and the tasks you've been completing for me. I wish to offer you something in return, as payment for a job well done. What would you say if I had means of restoring the arm that you lost? Uh, how did Ven respond in that moment?
I'm thinking about it. I think initially just probably like a weird look on his face. Sorry, I don't understand.
I have a lot of connections within the city, many within the chantry and mages of the circle, prominent figures, respected mages within Valrio. I hear the healing arts are rather extraordinary, and perhaps they might be willing to restore your arm to you.
I didn't know that was possible.
I didn't either. I was merely on a whim speaking with a colleague of mine I was having dinner with the other night that the conversation came up, and I asked if it was possible, and they said, um, with no uncertain words, that they felt it very possible, in fact, very likely, that they could help you.
I mean, I can't afford anything like that.
Oh, no, no, no. You've more than earned your keep around here, and I know how capable you are. With this, I imagine you'd be even more of a asset for me in the work I've been having you do. Any charges, any costs, I would pay for.
It would really be something to be able to shoot the bow again.
I'm sure it would. Is that a yes? All right. I'll make the arrangements. And the vision fades, and you see you and Lady Richelieu one evening heading into the city, heading to a like a small kind of like apothecary shop. That same Navarran gentleman working the counter nods when you come in, gives you like a big smile. Remember your hesitation as you're kind of looking around the shop, but the assurances of Lady Richelieu that who introduces this person to you as a member of the circle, and a prominent mage. The After a little bit of conversation, he leads you downstairs to a small workshop. There's a table, some like medical equipment, some spell components, all gathered around and kind of prepared for your arrival. He doesn't really explain the process much, other than he feels confident that he'll be able to restore your arm to you. Did Venehn object or ask any questions in these moments?
I don't think Venehn would know what questions to ask at that point.
And that's fair. I mean, I imagine like as young as Venehn is and everything going on, you're kind of just being thrown in over your head.
Yeah.
He explains that the process will likely involve some discomfort after the fact. That he'll be that he's going to be putting you to sleep or knocking you out for the procedure. That you might experience some pain upon waking, but he'll provide you with some sedatives for that as well. The After like a short explanation, he sits you down on the table, takes like an ether soaked rag and holds it to your face as you take a deep breath, eyes kind of lulling you pass out. There's a moment of stillness as it's just him and Lady Richelieu in the room, and he looks over you, nods, looks back to him and says, all right, the materials we spoke of. And Lady Richelieu gives a nod, and within a few moments, you see coming down the stairs one of Lady Richelieu's like enforcers, one of her brutes that worked for her in her house, one of her guards, coming downstairs, kind of dragging along a figure who is bound with like a sack over their head, leads them down the steps. And pulls them into the room as the covering is removed. You see a member of the same Dalish elf who you had seen previously in your vision, battered, kind of bruised, looking a bit gaunt, like they'd been imprisoned somewhere for a couple of weeks now. Is pulled to the side of the room and kind of thrown down into a corner. The Navarran gentleman looks over the other elf, looks back to you and says, I think this will work wonderfully. Very well. We'll get started then. And you see him pull out a dagger and close in on your clanmate, and the vision fades just as you watch him slit the elf's throat. As the vision kind of fades forward, you see the mage taking this arm, attaching it to yours, sewing the arm onto you, binding it with spells, or binding it with this wrapping, and this completing these incantations. And as the process finishes and you see your arm in pretty much the state that you remember and everything else, it cuts forward once again. Lady Richelieu looking over and says, very good work. Was it successful? Is he still alive? And the mage nods and says, I believe so. Everything went off very well. Within I'd say a few weeks to keep the bindings on, but once that's done, it should be safe to remove and have full use of the arm. And she says, about that, I'd like you to tell Venehn something different. He looks a bit perplexed and asks, what do you mean? She says, tell him when he wakes that the bindings are part of the enchantment. Removing them would lose use of his arm. A little bit of insurance that way. If he feels he has something to lose, then is more likely to do what I say. He shrugs and says, it makes no difference to me. My research is done, and he looks over to the corner where you see the corpse missing an arm of your companion and says, I have plenty of materials here to work with. Oh, and the others as well. She says, be delivered to you shortly. Perfect. Well, our business is done then. And the vision kind of recedes once again fades. You remember the moments of waking, having that explained to you, and living in that fear for the next several years of Lady Richelieu, as you return back to the present.
You should go.
Venehn, I need you to make a willpower self-discipline test.
I'm a tower of will.
Power of will.
You can't hurt me. $19?
19 succeeds. You feel
Can't get me with the
this
self-discipline.
overwhelming like this feeling of like too much information, or like you feel like the like continuing to surge
overstimulated.
as you like come out of the
Don't touch me!
come out of the vision. But you're able to kind of steady yourself and you avoid any sort of harm from that.
Did it work?
Oh, it worked.
And you didn't have to do any magic.
No.
You good? You don't feel like overwhelming knowledge in your brain kind of thing?
I'm a tower of will.
Oh, that's true. You are one. Okay, he's fine.
Puts out a hand for it.
Okay. Hold on to yourself in there.
Call it insurance. I don't trust this fucker. But maybe there's a way we can help our friends.
Maybe.
Yeah,
So
the
torn.
means to ask if anything. I mean, what exactly would you do with it?
I'm gonna put it on. And I'm gonna ask how we can permanently get these mages back.
Okay. All right. You look down at the eye. Similar to Venehn, it locks onto you, focuses, and you feel the information begin to surge into your mind. Different from Venehn, who was asking about like an event or something, you're asking to receive knowledge that you did not previously have. So it's a bit of a different sensation. There are like flashes and like whispers and information like kind of bombarding you all at once. It goes through the process, and you see like glimpses, almost like you reliving them or memories of Minetto's process. You see the binding ritual of trapping the abomination, these feral, these malevolent entities kind of thrashing against arcane bindings that hold them in place. You see Minetto performing a very complex series of enchantments and incantations to like pacify and subdue the demon through blood magic. You see blood flowing from his own wrists, forming these bindings. The process culminating as these brands almost form on the backs of each of the mages, a glyph that kind of solidifies the connection between them and Minetto, that he then maintains, and you get it, like you fully understand it, and a lot of it tracks what he told you, is that you fully understanding the magic that this it essentially is blood control, blood manipulation, that he is utilizing to then suppress the demons to allow the mage's autonomy, through the use of his own sort of like life force, pretty much.
Would it be possible though for these mages to do that on their own?
So as you are look as like the information is kind of flowing into you, uh the the process that you see is your understanding of it would be, it wouldn't be possible, like it wouldn't be possible for somebody to do this to themselves, because there is like a feedback loop. If you were in control, if you were doing blood magic on yourself, then the demon would have access to that control and would then have control of itself again. It wouldn't necessarily work that way. So like your mind just instantly understands that. It's like, no, that wouldn't work. But the as you're like searching through these memories, you're understanding very detailed like how all this places. Your mind also cuts to the litany of Andrala, and you suddenly find yourself like, the litany itself is a piece. It is not the whole thing. It is a theory created by Andrala to fully to purge, to essentially like a form of exorcism, a very limited form, to prevent the use of blood magic on someone. But again, if Minetto's theories are right, and they are, as you're understanding, that blood magic has the ability to control demons, and through the use, expounding on the theories of Andrala, if a mage were to incorporate certain incantations and certain glyphs from the litany into this sort of binding, it would not, you would be able to repress and remove the demon in such a way that you could essentially pass it along to either to something else or back into the fade. Fully. Yeah, the understanding that you have here is that Minetto had a piece of the puzzle, Andrala had a piece of the puzzle. Those two pieces together complete the process that both of them were attempting separately through different acts. So with all of that, you understand the process. You couldn't do this because you're not a mage, but a mage could accomplish
Extrapolate this from what I
you feel you feel confident that you could fully explain to a mage who would be powerful enough to do this exactly what to do.
Amazing.
I'm going to go ahead and have you make a willpower self-discipline test. You do have a -1 to this because you're a Canary.
That's fair. That's a good roll, though. Okay. 11, 12, 13. That's gonna be an 18.
18 succeeds. Again, similar to Venehn, you feel this like surge of information. You have to kind of forcefully like cut it off and prevent yourself from getting the backlash from using this.
You good, Yasmera? Is your brain going to blow up from overwhelming knowledge?
Andrala was the key. He can remove the demons. Completely.
Oh. That's great.
And you can tell him how to do it.
Yes?
So we don't need to give him this then?
Don't necessarily want him in retaliation letting go of the tenuous hold that he has on these mages already and turning them back into abominations.
I don't think he'll do that.
You do know from your understanding that that would be like, that information that you have now is something that he would probably want from this as well, but there was more to it than that. There were other reasons that he wanted this. That wasn't the only secret he was looking for.
Cool. I think Yaz looks at Garas. Is there perhaps any Grey Warden related questions you might have?
He reaches out, takes it. He looks over at Ziggy.
We have an item that is ask
Yep.
DM one question.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna ask, is there a way to either cease or delay the calling?
Okay.
Guys, watch. I'm gonna fail the willpower check. Watch.
This is interesting.
Not again. Now we have to kill Garas.
You let's just, this was something I was not prepared for, but I do know something that I need to look up quickly.
Hey, look at us throwing monkey wrenches into the machine left and right.
Okay. Okay. So you receive kind of the same thing as Yasmera, a lot of flashes, a lot of information at once. A lot of it is like disjointed, and the information that hits you comes like in these flashes of images. You see wardens who like struggling against the calling, looking for like answers. You see older like the figures wearing like the griffin heraldry of the wardens, like deep in libraries, having doing research and trying to looking for secrets here, and you're pulling bits and pieces from that. It's a very complicated issue because the calling itself is a connection to the darkspawn, is a connection to this force that both drives and connects darkspawn to the corrupted dragons that have become the archdemons, these old gods that have been corrupted and turned into these figures and are awakened and then connected to. So it is both innate to the darkspawn and something that is controlling them. The Grey Wardens having this connection to it. It seems like the eye is like searching. It's searching for this information, but as it moves through the past and through several figures that you're seeing that are trying to understand this. You see dozens, hundreds of wardens over the ages looking this over. You see flashes of conversation between a woman with dark hair, wearing with a mage's staff, another one with like red hair wearing a cowl, another just real dumb looking warden with blonde hair that are like having a conversation at a table discussing the calling, discussing or having this like the same kind of conversation that you are, asking the same questions. Your mind flashes to another figure, a name, the hero of Ferelden, also searching for this answer, and you realize like these, as like you're given the understanding, like you're looking to the future towards other wardens like beyond you that are looking for these secrets. The eye returns to you as essentially like you are having a first person view of like an AI like scanning an entire database of information looking for an answer, and then having to like extrapolate a few things from that information for a secret that is not known. And the understanding that you come to in clarity is that wardens tie themselves to the blight. You have an understanding that there are ways by which a warden can delay the calling, can minimize its effects, and do so long enough to live a natural life. You have an understanding of, like, I think, like pings on a map, maybe like there are mages who have a better understanding of this, and you kind of understand like the process that they would use to sort of delay these effects through the use of many different types of magic, but like wardings and bindings and different like cleansing processes to essentially stave off the taint of like the dark spawn of the calling of this blood in your systems, but it will always be there. The only thing that could end it is an end to the blight. That ending whatever this cycle is would be the only way to free somebody who has become a part of it. Okay. Obviously that is a undertaking of monumental scale, but with that you do understand that there are ways that it could be delayed. There are ways that it could be passed on to effectively keep it from becoming a problem, but it would require a distance, like a proximity to darkspawn enhances these effects. The closer you are to an archdemon, to the things that put off this signal that darkspawn pick up on, do increase the likelihood of that happening, of succumbing to it. So it would require being the further away you could be from anything of that nature, the more likely you are to stave off the negative effects that would come from it. But yeah, the only way to end it would be to end the blight for good.
Dope. And like when you said that, I saw like the pings on the map of like mages.
I think you have an understanding of like several prominent figures who could provide you with the knowledge and the understanding to suppress those effects. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Dope. Garas like snaps out of it. He's like, paper, pen. I need paper, and pen.
Yaz pulls them out of her boobs.
I grab it and he scribbles the map. He scribbles out the map, what he saw, and the points on where those little pings of mages who could help suppress and delay it. This is what I saw. Okay, so it's not time yet. The one who will probably even end it is far from here, like in the future. But I do know of ways that we could suppress it. Like, he points to the map. These mages could help you with that. And if you just distance yourself from any kind of darkspawn activity, will also help delay it. But that's it. I mean, it's a way to possibly suppress it so you can live a full life.
I think he reaches his hands up to his face and pulls the mask down. And as he does, there's a slight shudder and a sob as the fullness of his emotions come back to him. And you see in his eyes, we're back in better light now than down in that cave. His skin is nearly cave fish white. His veins in his neck and his face are black and pulsing like his heart is pounding. His eyes have gone almost completely white. And he says, That's great for you, kid. I already lived a full life. Besides, there's not enough time. We're not gonna... I can hear it, Garas. The song. And it's still getting louder. I don't know how long, but very soon you're gonna have to put me down or put me in a cage. Please don't put me in a cage. And don't send me to the deep roads. I lived my whole life on the fucking surface. I loved people up here. I loved you, and I'm not gonna go. I don't want to go back down to the roads and die
Garas
like a
chops Ziggy on the top of his head.
Ow!
You don't have to explain yourself, buddy. Whatever you want, you respect it.
I want to live a long, long life and die in my sleep with a wife beside me, but that isn't going to happen.
Yeah, but just know that the option is there for you.
Ah, it's sweet.
How about we all just get out of this hole for now?
I agree.
Garas.
Hmm?
It means something for you. I know you asked that question for me, but it could mean something for you.
Me? Huh. Honestly, Ziggy, however I go, I don't care. I could die of old age. I could die in the middle of battle. It could be however it takes me. Hey, it could be the calling. I just know one thing for fact, though. The world will never forget me.
I think much slower than you did, more ceremonially. Ziggy whacks you on the top of the head, and then he leans in close and says, "It's almost impossible for us to have children. For you two to have real cute kids." And then he nudges and starts to walk off.
Okay, let's cut it out. You're getting gross now.
Okay.
Move along.
Okay, buddy.
We have universe secrets to learn. Bunch of mages to save.
Well, with that,
I check for traps! Sorry.
All the traps we missed on the way down.
Yeah.
I kick Ziggy directly in the small of his back.
Cool. Yeah, no, that's good.
Go.
I
Not
deserve
hard.
this.
Not hard.
you ascend back towards the surface, back towards Mineta with new information in hand and secrets revealed. And we will see the outcome of that next time, as we are going to call our session here tonight. Good stuff, everyone. All right. Well, that's gonna be it for us tonight, y'all. I'll turn on some less spooky music. Do some relaxing music. Well done. Let's go around and do our stars and wishes for the night, and then we will call it a day. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first tonight. I love big heart protective Garas. I've said it before in character. He'd be a great dad.
Oh.
He'd be a dad that would make... I mean, his dad would still be ragging on him about the way that he's raising his son, but secretly, I think would be very, very proud of him. Does that sound right to you, Wally?
That sounds like Garas would never. Garas would never.
What if you got stuck with a forcibly adopted kid?
No, see, that's when Garas is
Yeah.
fine. Garas does not, the idea of Garas settling down and procreating does not track in his brain. But if a random ragamuffin decided to like showed potential that he could raise him into the next
You could pull like a Witcher,
Yeah, totally.
child of surprise situation.
Yeah, totally.
Like, why not?
Yeah.
And my wish, I wish that Ziggy could have a. He already did. I wish that Ziggy had a good, happy life, and I think he did that too.
Oh, it's sad.
Buddy.
Bad.
All right. Who's go next?
I'll go.
Do it.
I just think everybody deserves a star. This is a good one. I'll give a special star to Val though, because you did some real heavy lifting with the visions today. So that you did a lot of the work today, and it was really good.
There were so many things that I thought y'all might ask. I realized I couldn't prepare for everything. There were a couple things that I thought y'all might ask. You didn't ask any of those.
Of course.
So that made me glad I didn't prep a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, they were fun. My wish. I want to find this freaking Navaran mage. Like, I wished that like a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I first had a little like inkling of what was going on, but I'm gonna bring that one back around.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
I want to talk to him.
I figured I was painting a target on this dude's back.
Oh, he did it himself.
Yeah, well,
we just want to talk. We just want to talk.
I want to
I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him.
I feel like that's definitely like a time skip hijink that happens.
Oh yeah, we gotta track this guy
Just jump
down.
him. We
gotta track this asshole
Just
down.
I
drag him down,
figured
jump
that
him.
might be a downtime scene for Venehn.
Y'all just present him with a new suit, but it only has one arm on it, and he goes, "What is this?" And you just smile, and the screen goes dark.
Freeze frame.
That'll we pull a Godfather, and he wakes up one day, and it's Lady Richelieu's head in the bed next to him.
Yeah. Like 3 years later.
Yeah.
Mostly rotten
That's
skull.
Yeah.
We're making a point.
I love it.
I guess I'll go.
Yeah, go.
Okay.
My star goes to Venehn for this one, for pulling the band-aid off and just using the item. But it was also the fact that we answered this one question, and just all of us reacting to how we realizing how shitty of a person Lady Richelieu is as the story went on was just holy fuck. So
I am realizing that Venehn already knew some of that, and I don't think has
Yeah.
ever said.
I
don't think
it
has
was-
ever said all of it.
It was very much a thing of like Venehn kind of like confirming what he always knew, but it was that it's kind of like, you know how hot dogs are made, but you never want to see how a hot dog is made, and Venehn saw how the hot dog was made this time. So yeah,
And now I have to run for president.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, that's how it works. That's how it works.
Hamilton rules.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess it's a double star for Van, and then Val for just doing really the awesome visions were just really, really cool. I really dug that. My wish. Oh boy. I kind of wanna have a little I kind of want to see if Ziggy does go to one of these mages, and if he does, Garas would definitely go with him. That's my wish.
All right.
It is me. Star. This is a star. This is like a This is like a ninja star that I'm gonna throw at Sita's head. Cause stop making us cry on stream, you motherfucker. But don't, seriously.
I did it
it's
to myself
lovely.
again today too.
It's lovely. See, but you cry, that makes me cry. Stop it. It was lovely. It was beautiful. I don't want to kill Ziggy, but I'm pretty sure that Yaz doesn't have to kill Ziggy. My wish. Yeah. I think at the very least, Ziggy needs a good send-off. Whatever that means for him. So I want to make sure we do that.
Yeah, we kind of figured that would be a part of the next session, so think about that. And
Look,
I
Garas
guess,
promised some food, drinks, and broad-chested women.
yeah, Sita, send me your thoughts on what you want Ziggy's send off to be. But yeah, all right, everyone. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Well, we'll be back next Monday to continue our adventure. Likely we'll be wrapping up this chunk of it, getting into some downtime maybe. So join us for that next Monday, same time, same place. In the meantime, join us on Saturday for the next installment of Hearts of Stone. We're playing Blades in the Dark. And that is also very getting to a very dramatic point. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. So thank you everyone out there for watching, and thank you to my lovely
Discord.
Join our Discord.
Join our Discord and you tell me what trick you want my bear to learn.
I'm excited for I'm gonna have to do Art of this Bear now.
I can teach them as many tricks as I have communication, of which I have 3. I need
I'm
3
very
great
excited.
bear tricks.
It's just the image in my head of Garas like having them hold one of those signs that spin around and it points to, if they had the winery, it would be, he would have them stand on the side, just
Yeah.
point one of those spinning
People
signs
would think it was a
around.
mascot, but it's literally just a bear.
Yeah.
But great bear stuff. None of that black bear shit. I don't think chat was here for that conversation.
Chat was not here for
Whoa.
that.
They weren't here.
Chat's
Whoa.
gonna.
Chat, real quick, the 2 bears in the book are black bear and bear, great.
Look, I could say what the black bear would do, but we would get demonetized. So.
What? I'm done. All right. Thank you to my players for making this game fun to run. And saying stuff.
That was more of a question today. Most of the time it's a
Was it
statement.
fun?
Thank you to my players.
Did you have fun?
Yes, I did.
Let's fuck off. I gotta go to bed.
We'll
Yes.
see everyone next week. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.